The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 16G. Astronomy, 1885, page 347. That, at the observatory of Zacatecas, Mexico, August 12, 1883, about 2,500 meters above sea level, were seen a large number of small luminous bodies entering upon the disk of the sun. Monsieur Bonilla telegraphed to the observatories of the city of Mexico and of Puebla. Word came back that the bodies were not visible there. Because of this parallax, Monsieur Bonilla placed the bodies relatively near the Earth. But when we find out what he called relatively near the Earth, birds or bugs or hosts of a super Tamerlane or army of the celestial Richard Coeur de Lion, our heresies rejoice anyway. His estimate is less distant than the moon. One of them was photographed. Seal Astronomy, 1885, page 349. The photograph shows a long body surrounded by indefinite structures, or by the haze of wings or planes in motion. Astronomy, 1887, page 66. Signor Rico, of the Observatory of Palermo, writes that, November 30th, 1880, at 8:30 o'clock in the morning, he was watching the sun, when he saw, slowly traversing its disk, bodies in two long, parallel lines, and a shorter, parallel line. The bodies looked winged to him, but so large were they that he had to think of large birds. He thought of cranes. He consulted ornithologists, and learned that the configuration of parallel lines agrees with the flight formation of cranes. This was in 1880. Anybody now living in New York City, for instance, would tell him that also it is a familiar formation of airplanes. But, because of data of focus and subtended angles, these beings or objects must have been high. Signor Rico argues that condors have been known to fly 3 or 4 miles high, and that heights reached by other birds have been estimated at 2 or 3 miles. He says that cranes have been known to fly so high that they have been lost to view. Our own acceptance, in conventional terms, is that there is not a bird on this earth that would not freeze to death at a height of more than 4 miles. That if condors fly 3 or 4 miles high, they are birds that are especially adapted to such altitudes. Signor Rico's estimate is that these objects or beings or cranes must have been at least 5.5 miles high.